hosting our very first Malacanang press briefing in Alimodian. Let me begin with the good news. The good news is that we have an employment rate of 94.7% for January of 2018, which is the highest in all of the previous January rounds of the labor force survey since 2009. This translates to 41.8 million Filipinos employed. It is also noteworthy that unemployment rate went down to 5.3% from 6.6% in January 2017. This is also the lowest rate recorded for all January rounds of the LFS in 10 years. The labor force participation rate also increased to 62.2% in January 2018, higher than 60.7% in the same last month. Latest results indicate that due to economic reforms and programs being implemented by the government, more Filipinos are encouraged to join and rejoin the labor force, resulting in more Filipinos being employed. Good news here in Iloilo, we are pleased to announce that the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, EDSA, is providing 10,092 scholarship slots for Iloilo this 2018. Amounting a total of 170 million, these scholarships are meant to enhance jobs and employability of its graduates, aside from promoting and advocating the various programs and services of TESDA. According to TESDA, on February 27 to 28, around 45 technical vocational institutions took part in the National Technical Vocational Education and Training Enrollment Day and Jobs Bridging Fair located in 10 sites, wherein 3,991 interested participants were estimated to have enrolled in TESDA's various training programs. RA 10973 has been signed into law. This law grants subpoena power to the Criminal Investigation Detection Group and to the PNP Director General. This will add more teeth to their mandate to enhance the law and find solution to criminal cases. This subpoena power will give hope to the many victims of crimes who were deprived of justice due to the slow investigation processes, as witnesses or respondents to crimes cannot be forced to face investigation. Another good news, yesterday being International Women's Day, the Philippines was named as the 9th best economy for women entrepreneurs. This is in a report entitled MasterCard Index of Women Entrepreneurs 2018. The Philippines scored 68 out of 100. MasterCard explained that the score indicates how entrepreneurship is considered as a ticket to opportunity for women in economies such as the Philippines. Additionally, the report also stated that female business leaders, professionals, and technical workers are strongly represented along with local robust entrepreneurship landscape and respect for successful entrepreneurs. The index included 57 economies representing 78.6% of the world's female labor force. I'd like to respond now to the many queries that I received yesterday on the inclusion of Victoria Tawili Corpus, UN Special Rapporteur on IDPs, in the petition to declare the CPP-NPA and certain individuals as terrorist groups. To begin with, the CPP-NPA had already been declared a terrorist group by the US State Department and by the European Union. This move, therefore, by the DOJ only reinforces the classification as CPP that the CPP-NPA is a terrorist group. Unfortunately, perhaps, the UN Special Rapporteur for IDPs or indigenous peoples, Victoria Tawili Corpus, was also included because of intelligence information that she is somehow connected with the CPP-NPA. I assure everyone, including the international community, that this is not a witch hunt on UN Special Rapporteurs. Instead, perhaps, the UN Rapporteur system should fine-tune its selection process to ensure that individuals identified with terrorist groups are not given any mandate by the UN Human Rights Council. In any case, We are a civilized country in the Philippines. We will accord Ms. Victoria Tawili Corpus the right to be heard, her inherent due process rights, and that is why she is automatically tagged as a terrorist. She can dispute the classification in the regional trial court where the petition to declare the CPP-NPA as a terrorist group is currently pending. In our legal system, we adhere to the rule of law, and hence, Ms. Victoria Tawili Corpus can submit controverting evidence to what I am sure the DOJ already has, linking her with a terrorist group, the CPP-NPA. Now, this classification of Rapporteur Corpus has also resulted in very harsh language coming from the Prince of Jordan, who is also the High Commissioner on Human Rights. I reiterate that the language used by the High Commissioner is uncalled for. I'm very tempted to respond in similar language, but I have opted to restrain myself, opting not to respond in the same ad hominem used by the UN High Commissioner. I will reiterate, however, that such language directed against a democratically elected head of a UN member country is uncalled for and is, of course, an affront on the sovereignty of the Republic of the Philippines. I will, however, state that perhaps the UN High Commissioner's language is because of the fact that they do not have democracy in his home state of Jordan. Jordan's leader is not elected, unlike our president. And so my message to the High Commissioner is, we respect our president in this country because we gave him a democratic mandate to lead. And I would hope that although you do not have the same democratic system in your home country of Jordan, you will respect the kind of democracy that we have in the Philippines. Your language was not just an insult to the Philippines and the Filipino people, it is an insult to all countries who have democratically elected their heads of states.